So, hello everyone. It is technically now day 7 of rehearsals. It feels like it's been day 763, but it's it's been one of those weeks where literally everything Eurovision has just enveloped us at this point. So we're all very like ready for the live shows. I think is an understatement. um, but yes, so today yesterday, we had the first sort of rehearsals from the Big Five. And yeah, there's 6 of them, so we might as well get straight into it. So like, what were your overall kind of like first impressions of the Big Six?
All their stage shows were really, really strong and they all worked for their songs. And like, none of these were a letdown. None of these were hardly a low light. So when we get to the low light section today, I'm going to struggle.
Yeah, I was so impressed by every single one of them. They all just absolutely brought it. And when we were doing that and we were watching the rehearsals, I was also flitting in and out of the press conferences. And those were so insightful and so touching. And all of the artists just had such wonderful things to say about all of their songs. And I have been so excited to see a lot of these songs on stage, and they've all lived up to expectation for me.
Yeah, I think it was really quite interesting to see what the Big Five plus the host country were bringing to the table, really, because we've seen ideas for them before, either through national selections or potential leaks of stuff that had happened. But to actually see them come to life on the stage looked really, really good. And I think at this stage now, I think the Big Five are starting to realize now that actually, if you want to do well, you have to put good money and good staging around your songs. You cannot just have something that's really like naff. It has to be like
give a shit.
Yeah, like you actually need to care, which is fantastic because it means that the money that they're pumping into the contest is actually going towards something that they can be proud of. But yes, so to kick us off, what was your highlight out of the Big Five plus the host country?
For me, it's between Italy and the Netherlands, but ultimately, I'm just going to go Italy because rock music is something that I am very much into, and this is just outstanding. The light show is amazing. Like all their personalities, they really bring it on stage, and there's so much pyro, there's so much fire, and they're just being crazy and being unapologetically themselves, and I love that. I do think I wasn't so sure about it being a potential winner a couple of weeks ago, but now that I've seen the stage, and it is one of the very few stages that gives me that winner's vibe, and I wouldn't be shocked to see us going to Italy next year after seeing their stage again.
I also am very much on the Italy hype train still. I think the problem with Italy and the sheer pain of being an Italy stan right now, or generally, is that Italy can be so hit or miss when it comes to staging. And honestly, I wasn't even a huge fan of what they did with Zoldi. Like the sort of burning fire money in the background, I really didn't like. I thought that was too on the nose. I thought it was too cheesy. And yeah, I hate to say it, but I was skeptical going in, and they have blown all of my expectations out of the water. I am absolutely delighted with what they have done. I think it is glamorous. I think it fits the band's aesthetic perfectly. It works with the song. How much pyro would you like, Måneskin? Yes! I'm delighted with what they've produced here. And I think the thing with Måneskin is that they're a band and they are a collective, and that is exactly what you get on the stage. And I think the only other group that has really done that this year is probably Hooverphonic. And I just really love how they've done that. They've really highlighted every single person. Oh, also Dathio Gagman.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But they've really highlighted every single person in their performance, and I love it.
I mean, Italy definitely was one that I was looking forward to seeing, and I'm glad that they were able to actually do what they wanted to do, and they came across really well. I'm looking forward to the kind of refining the little tweaks that they're going to be doing for the next rehearsal. My highlight is going to have to be the Netherlands. I thought it was some of the most inspiring staging that you could have gone with for a song like this. It comes out so strong. It's so personal, it's so intimate, but it also tells such a great story as well. You know, it starts off very gray, very black, all of that kind of stuff, and then you just see Jungkook in this fantastically like cobalt blue like kind of suit, and it just comes across really, really well. And then as the song goes on, you see interpretive dance, you see the cracks appear, and then you just see an massive explosion of culture and color and everything. And I think it's something that, okay, I think we might be under the impression that the Netherlands is not really looking to win this year, and given how they are in the odds at the moment, I'm assuming that they're probably not going to win anyway. But it's definitely something that I think the Netherlands can be extremely proud of. And Jungkook is a fantastic ambassador for the Dutch music scene. And also, just as a little side note as well, I love that the fact that the Sranan Tongo lyrics are kind of there, both in Sranan Tongo and in English as well, so that when they're translated, you can understand what they're talking about. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't get any kind of insensitive or politically incorrect broccoli jokes, because that is not on. And I still see people both in the fans, like in the fandom and in the press center, continuing to make these jokes. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this is going to iron out this kind of stuff. Otherwise, you'll need Jesus or something. But yeah. Anyway, also just one kind of honorable mention as well I have to give is to James Newman from the UK. I personally really enjoyed the staging. I think he sounded really, really well. I thought the staging and the lighting looked really, really quite nice as well. I think there's a lot to play with here, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what last minute things are going to do for the second rehearsal as well. But this is easily one of the best stagings that the UK has done in a fairly long time. So I'm just proud, honestly. But
I feel like it's not the best staging and it's not going to win, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's something that the BBC should definitely be building on for years to come. Like, this is, even if it still does come bottom 5, it's just testament to how strong the year is, because typically I wouldn't think this would be worthy of a bottom 5.
Anyway, yes, so let us move on to our sort of lowlights of the big 5 plus the host country. Who was your low light?
This is tough, but I'm going to have to say Germany. I like all the big 5 stagings, so this is not a negative really. I just think it's a little bit busy and it's a little bit crazy, which is fine. It's Jendrik's personality. Unfortunately, out of the 6 songs, it is also my least favorite song. So sorry, but I don't really want to go into it too much because the stage is still really good. I just like them all.
I kind of hate to be that person, but honestly, I feel like my biggest letdown is probably the UK. And the thing is, it's decent what they've done, but the problem is that decent is not going to get you votes this year. And they've been so lovely about saying that their goal is to reach the left-hand side of the scoreboard. And I just don't think their staging's good enough to do that. And like I say, there isn't anything truly wrong with it. I can't look at it and say they need to change that, they need to change that, they need to change that. It's just everyone else has brought their absolute A game this year, and I can really easily see the UK in jurors' votes ranking sort of 11th, 12th, 15th. And that's pretty good if you rank that sort of level across jurors generally, but that's going to end you with 0 points in the end, because you only get points up to 10th place. And I'm just sad because I really wanted them to do well. And I honestly, Embers is in like my mid-20s, but they have really worked so hard on it this year. And I think the strength of the year is where the problem is.
I think it is one of the strongest years I think that we've had in a very long time for Eurovision. So even if it was to come in the bottom 5, it's still something to be entirely proud of. But you just know though that the local population in the UK like is just going to pull it down to Brexit or politics or no one ever votes for us because
or the
they're all going,
vaccines or
yeah, something like that, something stupid. So honestly, help us out here. Vote for the UK so then we don't have to put up with it, please. So yeah, my low light, like Jazzy said, like no one really had a bad rehearsal or anything like that. I think the one that just interested me the least was Spain. I think what they're doing with the staging, it looks fairly interesting. You know, like the giant, I've never seen the moon so big, honestly. Like even the real moon, I've never seen it that big. So
Nathan Trent is shaking somewhere.
Trust me. But also, can we just take a moment to appreciate the little nod to Latvia that they actually have in the rehearsal? Because at the end of the rehearsal, the moon kind of comes down in the middle of the second verse, kind of thing, or you know, you see it in vision then, and it stays kind of fairly white and kind of boring. But then in the last few bits, it turns red, signifying a blood moon. And who else this year is talking about blood moons? That's right, Samantha Tina and Blast Canto collab when? I don't know.
My sort of thing with Spain staging is that basically they've done everything Estonia was trying to do, but better. Like, I'm very sorry, Uku, but like the whole dark blue moon, vaguely thundery, stormy staging with stars in the backdrop, and then it turns red towards the end. I'm sorry, Estonia. Spain's just basically taken your stage and done it better.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Spain itself is still a fantastic performance, but I do think it might potentially struggle just a little bit because it's kind of more, it's a ballad, but it's not so much, it doesn't go a full way of being a ballad in the same way that, you know, like Voila does. But that's still not to take away from the emotion in the song. And if you had seen or anything of our coverage of Blast's press conference, he got very emotional. He started crying, actually, talking about his grandmother who he dedicated the song to. So there is a lot of personal emotion in there. I'm just a little bit concerned about how well it's going to be received on the night. So, I mean, hopefully by the second rehearsal, they might change things just a little bit, which leads me nicely on into our final kind of question. What is, like, who are you most looking forward to seeing in tomorrow's second rehearsals?
I guess James, just because I want to see how much because obviously they've said they are going to change some stuff, so I want to see what they change.
I think the other thing with the UK that we sort of realised is that James flew from the UK at 5 a.m. that morning and then went straight to Rotterdam to rehearse. So he's not going to be sounding at his absolute peak. He's not going to have enough energy to throw into it then. So hopefully he's had some rest and he can pull out a really strong vocal performance. Other than that, I feel like it's a cop-out to say everyone, but I'm just excited to see all of these again. I love every song in the Automatic Qualifiers. Like, I think all of them are really good, fun, or emotional songs. And I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, same really. I think the one that I'm most looking forward to seeing as well is just Voila, because we only got one run through in the first set of rehearsals, but that's not her fault. It's just the fact that rehearsals in like yesterday, Thursday, were 45 minutes behind. So it was like we were only going to get one run through, but I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more about like anything else that they're going to add to the performance. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to come through there, really. But like, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they all have. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, that is the end of this video. Follow us on all of our social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at That Eurosite. Follow us on thateurovisionsite.com as well, because, you know, we are pumping out articles left, right, and center. So yeah, follow us tomorrow. We will be delving into the Big Five plus the host Netherlands as well. So yeah, shall we all say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye.